The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions.
Panther fans unite! My name's Tony Dunn. Cody Lashney, how you doing? CK's in the house. How you doing, my friend? The Stat Daddy.
But I think Derek Brown, hey man, he deserves that dab on him pick.
Dab on him, Phil Snow. Dab on him.
All the same, yeah, 100%. We can just
Mine is going to go to the fullback. I'm going to dump on the Richie guy. Dab on him, Shaq.
I'm going to put the towel on Matt Rule.
Y'all took all the good ones.
Only one postgame roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers postgame show.
The Panthers suck. Good night. Oh, should we do a show?
Until next time, Panther fans, keep pounding.
There it is. The Carolina Panthers fall to 1-8. They lose on the road on Thursday Night Football, 16-13, where the only touchdown that was scored was in the first quarter on a kick return or punt return for a touchdown. The Carolina Panthers offense is non-existent. Questions continue to loom about Bryce Young and his ability or capability or how long it's going to take for him to be the player that Carolina Panthers want him to be. And right now, there just really isn't anything good to say about this team. Perhaps the best thing that happened tonight was that this didn't go to overtime, because then we would have had to stay up and watch nothing. Because that's what this is. It's absolutely nothing. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. This is the C3 Panthers post-game show. The number's 252-228-5098. Cody Lashney, thanks for joining me.
No need to thank me, man. Rain, sleet, or snow, I will be here to talk Carolina Panthers with my favorite people. And you know who's definitely one of my favorite people, Tony Dunn? Mr. Strats, who just gifted 50.
Holy cow.
50.
50.
50.
Do you know how long it would take the Carolina Panthers offense to score 50 points? Like 2 years.
Strats, you're the reason we do this, not the Carolina Panthers.
Well, guess what we're not doing tonight? Giving away a Jonathan Mingo jersey.
Nope.
Another week. And all it takes is one touchdown from one player.
Hey, didn't we need a special teams touchdown?
Ooh.
Somebody's
right,
getting a jersey they don't want.
You do the roll call, and I will look this up.
Oh, man. To all the Panther faithful, listen, we understand you're going through a hard time. Lots of emotions. We're going to do this here together, man. Two battle bros. Brad, Broman, Carolina in the house. Chad Howell, Hemlock, Jerry, Kevin D in the building. Leonard Kowalski, Kristen Ledane, Michael Geringer, Mr. Strats, Panther Gal 73, Sarah Taylor, the real C3 AP, Timothy Bells, Tony Dunn, all the normals are here. What's up, Doug is in the chat room. We did a pregame show earlier. What's up, Doug? Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for being here. Tony Dunn, ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
CK, you're right. We're giving away a jersey tonight. How about that's the best thing that could happen here? CK, this game was terrible. Panthers.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even saying the game was terrible. The Panthers were terrible.
Yeah, it was. Listen, here's my. I got my neck pillow. I got my blanket. Just tell that pilot to put this bitch in the ocean, please. I'm ready, dude.
The number's 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. What a great time for Strats to give away 50 memberships, because tonight we hit the Mega Mango. Finally, it's happened. Not the way I thought this would happen. This is how the Mega Mango card played. A multi-passing touchdown game. That could only been one of them at one point. Special teams touchdown, a Thielen touchdown, a Sanders touchdown, and a 50-plus yard field goal. Wish we would have had one of those tonight. Actually, that would have been awful. John, I need to know, I wonder if the super, let me look up this. We'll get into the show anyway, and then I'll pull all this stuff up, and we'll randomly select someone to get a jersey that they arguably don't want.
Yeah, at this point in time, what is the you might actually spend more on shipping than it's worth at this point.
Jonathan Mingo runs the slowest, laziest fucking routes I have ever seen in my entire life. And the fact that the Carolina Panthers used a second round pick on them, they should fucking hang their heads forever, dude. It's such bullshit. We don't draft corners well in the second round. We don't draft wide receivers well in the second round. DJ Chark can't even see the fucking field. Fitterer needs to go. And if this isn't the catalyst for making it happen, a free agent quarterback came out and he's the one that led his team to victory tonight, it's bullshit, dude. This is unacceptable that the Carolina Panthers look worse than we did with Matt Rule as our fucking head coach.
At any point, like
bullshit.
We've never. Here's the thing, and listen, I know a lot of people consider competing podcasts, but I encourage you guys to keep an eye out for those in Charlotte. PNP is organizing a march on Mint for tomorrow, so or maybe this weekend. I don't know. Just keep an eye out on their Twitter, because I think, or on their X, because that would be, listen, I think we're at the point. This feels like a tipping point. We go from being such a prideful fan base. When Cam was here, Matt Rule was hired. We were like, there was rumors that we were going to get rid of Cam. We even raised money to have a billboard put up saying keep Cam in Carolina. It just feels like an entirely different lifetime to go from that to we're literally about to march on Mint Street to try to get some change done, because at this point in time, it's unacceptable. There is no scenario, you can't even look at what happened tonight and justify keeping Reich after this season.
Yeah, and again, Tony, you said it on Twitter. I'll say it again on the show. Bryce Young is not playing good football, and no, we're not. And no, we're not a hater. And it doesn't make us bad fans to point out the blatantly fucking obvious that even Stevie Wonder could look at and tell obviously. No one is playing good on this team right now. Mm-hmm. There were a few times that Bryce missed open throws in this game. We pointed some out on the film room. Dude, this is embarrassing, man. It's fucking embarrassing. I couldn't imagine before the season that we would ever be at this point. It's hard to maintain composure, dude.
I just don't know how you go from winning a game against the Texans when that should be okay, the shift is happening, right? We're seeing things start to progress. Bryce is looking better than he ever had, which again, marginally, if you want to look at it from that perspective, from a stats perspective, but nonetheless, looking better than he ever has. And then we just go up against one of the worst defenses in the Colts, and we end up somehow making them look like they're a top 5 defense in the entire NFL. That one sample size probably caused their rankings to jump up by a matter of tenfold. And then now we go to the Bears, who have literally nothing else to play for either, other than if they win, it's actually worse for them, in my opinion. Because now, if you had lost that, we're still we only have 2 wins. They have 2 wins. They're still in that top 3 picking at that point in time. Whereas if they win, now they're 3. Now they're going further down the draft boards. They had less of a reason to want to win this game than we did. and we still lost.
Yeah. So the Carolina Panthers have gifted the Chicago Bears the number 1 pick in the 2024 draft tonight. I don't see any other way that it's going to change. Bryce Young was not good. Yes, certainly he was under duress at times.
It wasn't even as bad as it was last week. Like the duress, like he actually had a lot more clean pockets, in my opinion, tonight than he has in many of the games we've seen this year. Last year, I felt like it was one of the worst. This week, not even. Like he was back there for hours, and we saw a deep shot. We saw a couple of deep shots, which we've been asking for, but I don't know. I think it's just a failure across the board. I mean, we were on the 9-yard line early in the second quarter, and they threw the ball 3 times.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, man. We have a fan in our chat room. I have him highlighted right here. Leo Factor. Dude, Leo Factor has been a fan of the podcast since the last time that we played the Chicago Bears, and he's been rocking with C3 ever since. Dude, Leo, congrats, man. The embarrassment of the Carolina Panthers is a good thing for your Chicago Bears tonight, brother. We appreciate your patronage and hanging out with us. And Tony, before you go on, James Cameron with the $10 says Tepper keeps hiring people who look like him, smell like him, and talk like him. Southern Mafia Panthers will go nowhere when he is in charge.
Bryce Young finished the game 21 for 38 with 185 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. The Panthers ran the ball for a collective 23 and 18 is what? 41 and 7 is 48 and -5, 43 total yards rushing. And Bryce Young was 18 of those. And somehow with my prize picks, what a dummy I was for trying to pick Hayden Hurst on the over or the more than 14.5 on the second catch. Prize picks gave him to 15 yards. And I said, holy shit, he got it. Well, the official game book came out and he only had 14 yards. Hayden Hurst, you can say he dropped that pass. It was behind him. He got crushed. And
that was a tough one.
Bryce Young continues to just refuses to look at him.
What
just does it? He must have made a short joke about him.
Hey, real quick, did you want to see the press conference or no?
No, I want to start. I want to go straight into the calls, dude. The number's 2. Go ahead. CK.
I was gonna say. I want to say at least one thing. Do we know how many yards Bryce threw for?
185.
Well, it's more than I thought, I guess. Going into the fourth, somebody said that we were 95 yards, and I'm like 44 of those were on one play.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it was. Cody, like, you mean, unless you want it, do you think we should watch the press conferences? I don't feel like it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I don't think so.
Chat, let us know. Hit us with the yeses or nos in the chat if you want to hear Frank Reich give you a line of bullshit. Dude, they're putting they're putting tomatoes in the Panthers chat right now. Trey Burnett with the $10 says what we're seeing is regression by Bryce due to our opposition not having to respect anything we do. No run game, most routes stop at 10 yards, and Bryce knows he doesn't have time, so he presses.
Thank you for the monetary support. Smash the thumbs up button and subscribe. Thank you to Mr. Strats and all the super chats. We're going to need this is going to be just a fan-funded podcast. Caldera screwed us out of our payment for the rest of the season, by the way, guys. So screw them too. You know what is who cares? We don't do it for that. We do it because we like hanging out with you guys. Let's go ahead and start taking some calls and
I want to thank everybody in the chat real quick because I know we have a few people in the chat that are in the Carolina Panthers one as well. But the official team website, team YouTube, where they're broadcasting the live press conference, has 500 people watching. And us being a small time podcast, content creation online are half of the numbers that a $1 billion organization is pushing on YouTube. I just want to applaud everybody here in the chat. Hanging out,
Good nation, baby.
Yeah, they do work, Dimitri, and I'm sad that this didn't happen. Part of it's on me a little bit for some else stuff, but not really.
Chris-
Let's go ahead. Kristen Ledane says,
Kristen
if anyone, thank you for the support. $5 super chat. If anyone bothers going to a game at Bank of America, brown paper bags all around. You know what is if you got to buy that paper bag, you've spent too much money on the Carolina Panthers. You got to find a used one. You got to run in somewhere and steal it.
Bro, no, here's the deal. I'm using plastic bags. I ain't gonna be here no more, bro.
Dude, you're gonna kill yourself.
I'm done.
Just gonna tie it up.
I kind of think that's his point.
Mass suicide. We're gonna mass suicide in the
No,
stands.
we're a therapy session. We don't encourage that behavior.
No, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. The Panthers suck. We're cooler than they are at this point.
For sure.
They're really bad. And at first I thought, Dante Jackson was pretty good tonight.
He was the brightest spot of this. And him and Derek Brown.
He's already my David Dado's balls or whatever. That's
big balls. All right, let's get into the calls. The number's 252-228-5098. I'm pretty sure the callers will walk us through the conversation.
Let's do it.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Where is the play button? Right here. Here we go.
What's up, C3? It's Tyler here. I would say hope you're having a good evening, but it's probably not that great at all. Man, getting beat by the Bears without even Justin Fields playing. How embarrassing. I mean, we should be seeing tomorrow when we wake up, Frank Wright and or Scott Fitter has been fired. Hopefully both of them. They both need to be fired. It's just crazy. Like, I understand we've gone through so many injuries, but with Steve Wilkes here, coaching last year, going with our strengths, like you let an interim head coach, Steve Wilkes, out-coach, quote-unquote, an offensive-minded head coach with less talent. Like Steve Wilkes, we outperformed last year, and we supposedly, according to Scott Fitter, have better talent this year overall, and we are going to be basically handing the Bears a number 1 overall pick. How amazing is this? Wow. This has been the worst Panthers team and just the position the Panthers have been in since I don't know when.
It's the worst one ever, dude.
We can all sit here and say, oh, Bryce, oh, this, oh, that. I honestly feel like it's the scheme that Frank runs. It's a combination of everything. We all know this. The Bryce played like shit. There's offensive line played a little bit better tonight, but overall they've been playing like shit. The schemes, you don't go from last year being a dominant running team, albeit there's been some injuries. We don't go from a top 7, 8, I think it was, offensive line to bottom 5 in a season, and you still have the same players. We pretty much have the same starting offensive line minus Brady Christensen, and Brady Christensen from last season was the weak link. He was still good, but he was the weakest link. And we are god-awful. We can't get up 1 yard. 3rd and 1. Hey, it hasn't worked all season. Let's do it again, guys. Shotgun. 3rd and 1. Handoff. Here you go. Up. Nope. Didn't get it.
Yep.
So I think that a part of that is the scheme, Frank Wright. It's just, I don't understand. I don't get it. He's got to go. Gotta go.
2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons. You'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
Tomorrow, I better see Frank Wright fired. Better see it. Ezra Rivero, interim head coach. Thomas Brown, get rid of him too. Yeah, I haven't seen any change since the Thomas Brown took over from Frank Wright. So give it to QB coach. Let him do it. Well, let's all suck it up together, guys.
Yeah, bring up Bryce.
2024.
Let's go ahead and bring up Bryce. But I want to address
Have a good one.
I'm going to address these comments real quick. Thanks for the call. Oh man, Panthers Drew, thank you so much. $20 super chat. I don't want to hear this BS about wide receivers here. We'll address that just a second.
The spirit of practices, the good practices. Where do you see the biggest disconnect from those two?
We just making it translate. Honestly, it's something we got to figure out together as a team, as a whole, because we work, and the coaches do a great job of pushing us to work, and we try to be perfect. And again, throughout the week, we're good. We again, obviously there's stuff we can do better. We're not perfect, but we work. We do the things. We come off of practices feeling good a lot of the times. We talk about little things and we carry it over. And again, the coaches do a great job of cultivating that from us, but we haven't been able to translate that. That hasn't been able to show up, especially consistently, and that's not good enough. It's a work in progress to find what that disconnect is. We all have to look in the mirror. We all have to figure out what we can do to help. Again, there's a lot of things I can do better, a lot of things I need to do better. So again, I'm right there. I got to make sure it translates well, just like everyone. But we're gonna find that answer together.
What happened to the 3rd and 10 play, Coach?
Which one?
Third down play at the end of the game, right before the field goal try. The one that it was almost intercepted.
Bring this down. I don't want to hear this shit. Take this off. I don't care.
Under his own weird.
The guy
on the spot where I was throwing.
The best thing that's happened in Bryce's career so far is he stopped saying like.
Yeah. Let's pull up the super chat. The super chat needs a lot of love here because this is crazy that people. Sure. I don't know how people are this generous at this moment in time, but thank you so much.
So look, we have a few of them. James Cameron again with the $2 says we just don't go to games, refund them, hurt Tepper's dollars. Charles June with the $5 says watching the Panthers play football is painful. I don't know why I continue to keep watching them play. You are not alone on that one, Charles. And then, man, with the big time $20 with C3 Panthers, Drew, he says, I don't want to hear this BS about receivers not getting separation because there was multiple wide open receivers and Bryce can't do shit. Sorry, CK. Bryce has shown less awareness than Joe Biden at a press conference.
And I think there might have been one more that came in. Maybe I'm wrong. No, we already got Mike Hollinger. No, you're right. Did we get? Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. Mike Hollinger with the $2 says Josh McDaniels is available if we fire our OC. LOL.
Yeah, there was the comment I wanted to address is, of course, there are the Bryce defenders out here. And look, Chad Howell says this, Bryce isn't playing good, but I just don't see how people think a rookie quarterback is supposed to acclimate with these deficiencies on offense. And Nigel X is up pointing him underneath. You know what is I didn't expect Bryce and I don't expect Bryce to hero ball this, but he's not playing well. He's missed throws. He's not surveyed the field correctly. He just hasn't played well. Now, has the offensive line not helped him at all? Certainly. Are the wide receivers bad? But look, I'm watching Hayden Hurst run free a lot in these games, dude. And it's just like, man, it's just like every time Hayden Hurst runs a route, Bryce is looking the other way. So,
and when he does throw it to him, Hayden Hurst drops the ball.
Tough to, man. I don't care what y'all say. That was a tough catch, dude. It was behind him.
It was
he's
behind him.
Twisting in the air, and then he gets destroyed as he's trying to catch it. Sure. Do you get paid the big bucks? Should you bring it down if it hits you in your hands? I guess that is the old adage, but we make a million other fucking excuses for everybody else. So why not one for Hayden Hurst at this point? I don't know. They all suck. They all suck, dude.
Shout out to Stephen Bailey, who says Cody's play analysis episodes are right on. Bryce is making bad decisions. Just today, we uploaded the film room of the Panthers and Colts, and the multiple wide open throws that I felt that he missed. I don't know what else to say, man. Like, Bryce is not playing good football. That goes without saying.
What about this? What about this comment? This is some bullshit, Nigel XL.
Dude, that's Bryce's biggest fan.
I understand that, but if y'all expect Bryce to play better than he is now, go ahead and pack up. That right there sounds like this is Bryce isn't good then.
Well,
I expect him to play better than this. I mean,
what he means to say is don't you dare say anything negative about Bryce Young, because nothing is his fault, and you're a terrible Panther fan if you do. Fuck that, man. That's not what we're going to do.
I want to read this super chat, because as a Bryce defender, I cannot agree more with this statement. The real AP throws out this: put Dalton in, protect your investment until you can build around him. $5. Thank you for the love bomb on that. And I couldn't agree more. Again, there's too many reasons to do it. Number one being, we're about to face the Cowboys next week.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to get murdered.
He is going to get murdered. And so here's the piece. There's a failure across the board, right? There's a failure. This team is not good. And you need to, I think it could do nothing but help Bryce Young to see how Andy Dalton handles what he's dealing with this offense. And if he can be successful, find out how he's being successful. You've got to listen. You can put on that film review and look at that Seahawks game. Now that the NFL has plenty of film to watch on us to see what our offense is, they're playing us, and they're almost running our routes for us, right? And it's a problem. And so if you can watch Dalton navigate that and at least look competent in some way, then that can only help your development. And so I can't think of a reason at this point in time not to put Dalton in and let Bryce Young sit on the bench and watch.
You fire. Look, I took a controversial and what I felt was a sort of a courageous opinion on the last two shows of saying that I think we have to we should stick with this coaching staff to prevent that. I think going, is just change all of a sudden could set this back and maybe impede not only Bryce Young's development, but his ability to get a real fair shake and flourish in Carolina. But I'm taking that back now. I mean, how about this? There's no reason to keep these guys at this point. There's zero reason to keep any single person on this team other than the ones that are under contract, like Bryce Young, who we've invested in and we have this time. Other than that, I don't give a damn about any single person on this squad. And that's sad. And someone told me this is the worst Panthers team I've seen. I don't care if you say the 2-10 team was worse or the 2010 team. They actually won 2 games, I think. On top of that, the 2002 or 2001 team that got us the Peppers pick would have been 01, I think. They were really horrendous too. But is there a point where falling so short of your potential? Like, those teams were bad. This team with the number 1 overall pick shouldn't be this bad. I'm sorry. I mean, we can't score any points. We can't move the ball at all. You go up, 10-0 or something? What was the score? I mean, like, this is the opportunity where you don't have to ask anybody to do too much. And then all of a sudden you can't do anything. This team is horrendous. And I just don't, at this point, there is zero. I thought that keeping Frank Reich and the staff could, at least you just say this has just been a shitty go. We've been injured. Everybody's bad. Let's try to get some continuity next year. But right now, there's nothing that they've done that deserves any extra additional time. There's zero. Right. Before you read off the super chats, let's take another call.
Yo, what's up? It's JJ from Louisville calling in, and I ain't really got much to say. The team is dog shit, but we all knew that. It sucks being a Carolina Panther fan, but you knew that. I really ain't got nothing to say, but I do want to say I'm going to pour one. Just got me a nice bottle because I got me a new apartment. Shout out me, myself, and I. First apartment.
Congratulations, dude.
Man, congrats.
But yeah, I'm going to pour me a good one, and I'm going to tribute it to my man, Tony Dunn, the professor. Because shout out you, man. You deserve all the respect and the biggest respect in the world because the amount of torment this dog shit ass team be putting you through and the amount of entertainment you provide for us every week with your platform and your name from Cat Chronicles. It's just crazy, man. The amount of entertainment, because it's way more entertaining than this team. I mean, like, if we're being real, like, the C3 Panthers podcast is way more entertaining than the Panthers. Like, I feel like that's the only reason I'm even a fan of the team sometimes. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I feel like I have way more fun talking with people that are Panthers fans than I do watching this team.
Oh, no,
this
dude.
team is some hot garbage, bro. But we all knew that.
I'm like Bryce Young at his press conference about to cry.
Big shout out to Tony Dunn,
T. Thompson,
the professor, Cody Lack, Code Dizzle, Greg, the whole crew.
Appreciate you, JJ.
Big shout out to all of y'all for being the podcast members. And that's really all I got to say, man. Especially you, Tony.
Thank you, my man.
Big shout out again to you, Tony. It's brutal. I know it's brutal. I know you sitting there thinking like, holy fuck, man, this man, JJ, just keep talking. But no, man, it's kind of like how the Panthers are. They just keep sucking, and they just can't get out of their own ways. But, yeah, I'm going to let it off there. Keep pounding for the rest of City 20C3.
I checked around with a few guys, and I said, okay, we're going to keep it 100, right? Am I saying that right? We're going to keep it 100.
Thanks, JJ, for keeping 100, man. Read off these, man. Look, how about this? Dude,
our fans are the best.
I can't believe, I actually went from being exhausted and dreading this.
You got some energy now.
This is the best thing that's happened to me all day.
Oh, dude.
Look at these. Look at the fans.
Dude, and we're sitting at 301 viewers.
Yeah.
C3 Nation, you guys are the fucking best, man. Yeah, we read this one. Nick 224 with the 199 says, as soon as Bryce drops back, he only looks at 19. Jerry with the 499 says Bryce is good. Mahomes, Tua, Lawrence, Burrow, Jackson, Hurts, Herbert all had 14 or more interceptions.
That doesn't bother me.
First year being a starter. Yeah.
And Nick 224 says, thank you, 499 super chat. He says, if you put Andy Dalton in, it's going to look like Bryce got benched. That's only going to kill his confidence more.
I mean,
I think you're going to have to take him. I think you're going to have to take him to the side and tell him what the deal is.
Well, but what's going to hurt his confidence more? Benching him or leaving him out there to dry?
Leaving him out there
to remind him that John Elway got benched his rookie year. That's what
you would have to do that. And listen, I mean, you've got to look at it from the other perspective. Like, I think you have to have an honest conversation. We're not, what we're doing isn't working to help you. Like, we can't, I think right now we're only hurting you. And I think that we're seeing that. Like, what we saw today has been, I think that he had a bit more of a clean pocket, but he was trying to escape the pocket instead of actually looking down the field. Because I think he's got an internal clock that's making him think, okay, somebody's about to hit me from behind. I think leaving him out there and seeing, like, continuing to get hit, you're only asking for him to get hurt. You're only asking for him to continue to have his confidence completely destroyed. I think it's better than him constantly being on news outlets talking about how bad he is and comparing him to Stroud and all that stuff. I think right now the only way to stop his confidence from being hit, he's going to have a confidence hit the first week that he gets benched. But after that, they're going to stop talking about Bryce Young, and he's not going to be in the news cycle. It's all going to be about Andy Dalton and how bad this team looks. And then we'll be able to move on. And then next year, he's going to have a clean slate. Hopefully some free agents that can, protect him and provide him some real downfield threats and what have you. But as of now, I mean, there's no reason you could give me as to why it makes sense for him to stay on the field right now.
Yeah, and I think, you know what, the team will just have to come out and say those things, that this is not this isn't us not having confidence in Bryce, but us trying to position Bryce for long-term success instead of continuing to do something that, we just this didn't go the way we wanted. I do want to address something else. Is every time someone says, first, I don't think that throwing interceptions in a game means that Bryce Young isn't good, right? Like, I don't walk out of last week's game as 3 picks in a game, and then everybody's like, "Oh, well, Trevor Lawrence had a 4-pick game," and no, I just don't think Bryce is playing well. That's it.
Yeah,
that's like, I have no other agenda other than to say that I don't think. And look, and I am the person that says this: no, regardless of whether he becomes great or becomes good or is terrible, the Panthers selected him number 1 overall. They also traded up for him. You have to, as a team, put 3 years into Bryce, at least 2 full seasons and into year 3 before you ever decide to do something different. Yeah. Now, the last thing I want to point out, though, is every time someone says, "Oh, well, Tua had a 2-pick game," and could we also go through and find a list of terrible quarterbacks who had 14 interceptions in their rookie season? Can we go through and find a list of terrible quarterbacks that had multi-interception games? So that argument is built on sand. Right now, it doesn't matter. Tua, Trevor Lawrence, none of those guys matter. Bryce Young is the only dude that matters on this podcast, and he has not been anywhere as good as any of us expected him to be. And arguably, I would say this: he is not as good right now as I want him to be. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean that the wide receivers are good? No. Does that mean the offensive line isn't part of the problem? No. All of this is terrible. Every single motherfucker is terrible. Every single one. And he's playing bad football. They're playing worse football. But, man, he didn't play good tonight.
No, not at all. And, dude, you're biased in the way that you're saying we're biased if you can't admit that he hasn't been playing good football. Tony, we got 5 more super chats.
This is awesome.
Just in the time that it took you to say that. All Stop Blue with the 199. Bryce is not a leader. Offense doesn't trust him. Panthers Drew with the $2. Bears beat us with our own cast-off players. The truth, the real AP says, how do y'all think Tom Brady would fare here? Self-proclaimed GOAT. Just asking. Jay Thomas with the 999 says, I think they know he's going to struggle facing the adversity he never did in high school or college. The philosophy must be get it out of the way now. Be ready for next season. Awesome chat. Roosevelt Mongo with the $2. Michael Parsons about to beat Bryce up. Maybe 5 sacks. Jerry with the $4.99 says should have gotten a wrench for free. He took the Colts offense from 32nd to 8th. He had no wide receiver with the Colts. Then start Bryce next year. And last but not least, Railroad Man with the $2 says tank for Arch Manning in 2025?
Oh, we got one more.
Oh, wow.
one more.
They
It
keep
just
coming.
popped up. Dude, C3 Nation's incredible. Panther Cow didn't want to feel left out, so she had to jump in with the dono. Appreciate you,
I
Panther
will
Cow.
also
Y'all-
highlight this Bears fan in the chat. As a Bears fan who knows his team is trash, I want to say thanks for the first round pick.
Hey, you're welcome,
Not
buddy.
the first
Enjoy
round
it.
pick. You're welcome for the number one overall.
Overall picks. You're welcome,
And-
buddy. You enjoy that.
You
one.
get to go and get whatever quarterback you want now.
Right.
And,
I
but
wanna-
was it true
And I
that
hope he plays terribly.
was it true that John Elway was benched as
Yes.
a rookie?
Yes. He was pulled. He was sat in several games, like he was pulled in several games for not playing well. And then he was ultimately benched for the season. I heard that this morning on Good Morning Football.
I want to thank all the people with the super chats. As Tony mentioned earlier, one of our sponsors previously, I'm not even going to mention their name because of what happened. They have basically reneged on a deal they had made with us, and so this extra little bit is going to help out a lot. So I do appreciate everybody in the
Gonna
chat.
buy
who's
that
been-
mango jersey that we're about to give away.
So it helps out. I appreciate all you guys.
You think we can get that mango jersey at Ross?
I mean, at this point in time, you could probably find somebody who's willing to sell it on the aftermarket because they're just so tired of it.
Yeah, we should. You know what? Jonathan Mingo should pay us to buy his jersey. He should give us one. Let's go to the calls. The number's 252-228-5098.
Right. So listen.
This is from
y'all already know who
936.
this is. Man, I don't even drink no more. I don't even like. This is a sober realization. We're in a cycle. Bryce and Greg, please back me up on this. Greg, please back me up. Bryce Young plays like shit. Then he's gonna have an all right game. Then he plays really good. So we're at all right game. He's gonna have an all right game today. Then he plays really good the next game. And then we're gonna go back to playing like shit. And it's one big fucking cycle. But when we're at playing all right and then the next game he plays really good, y'all gonna be like, oh my God, this man is the truth. Oh my God. Y'all gonna lose your fucking panties. Y'all might as well just drop them. But when he's playing like shit, y'all gonna blame everything else. Yes, I get the O-line is shit. But dog, it's week what is it, week 9 for us, week 8? I don't want to hear that shit no more, dog. I don't give a damn. Corbett came back and then Bozeman starts playing like shit. I just sat here and watched Bozeman get fucking put on his fucking ass. Put on his fucking ass. And this is Chicago, dog. This is Chicago without Justin Fields. This shows you why we should have never let go DJ Moore and Donta Foreman. Man, fuck, my parlay's not gonna even hit because fucking Miles Sanders can't even get 20 fucking yards.
No, negative 5 yards tonight. He was on
And
mine
we live
too.
in this country. In this country, you got the $100 cleats, $100 gloves, $60 undershirt, $500,000, $100,000 chains and watches. And all I expect you on Thursday is to throw the damn ball and catch the damn ball and get positive fucking yards. That's all I ask. And from the coaching, I don't even ask shit from y'all no more because y'all niggas, bro, y'all go get your playbook from Madden. Hit ass Madden. Because at this point, we need John Madden to come back from the dead to revive this team.
Hell yeah.
Bro, that's it, man. Lou from Fort Myers. I'm gonna tune into this after game show, bro. I'm
Appreciate
impressed,
you, Lou.
bro. And if I'm telling you,
He
we're gonna
made
get
this
one
call
touchdown
at
on offense, and that's
9:36,
it.
by the way.
The Bears are gonna win this
I
game.
knew.
I'm calling it
Look.
because I can see how momentum is, and if we don't change shit up at halftime, we lose it.
Oh, dude,
All right, bro.
you're right. Look, man, look, these people are calling at here. This call's 9:41 right here. Let's see what they say.
What's up, guys? It's Chase from Anderson.
What up,
This game
Chase?
is like watching a preseason game, like one where it's nothing but like practice squad guys. Well, I guess that's because most of the guys on this team now are practice squad guys. Pass rush is pitiful. I know I give Brian Burns a lot of shit, but the dude missed that speed rush. Maybe Secondary is pitiful. Offensive line is okay, I guess, but the Chicago is like dead last in sacks, so there's that. Nobody can get open. Bryce Young's holding the ball too long. That's just two shitty teams, and somehow Carolina's winning, being the shittier team. The defense is just sad.
No, the offense is even sadder, man, as it got worse and worse and worse. Let's keep going.
Hey, hold on. King Jermaine with the $10. Yo, Jermaine's always in the chat. He's one of our biggest fans, man. He with the $10 love bomb, it says height, arm talent matters in the pros, not S2 tests. He's trying, but just doesn't have it. But the Panthers will keep lying to themselves about it until year 3 at the least. Thank you, Jermaine. And Nanook of the North with the $10 says, thanks for commiserating during these dark days in Panther country. Nanook, we're here for y'all, man.
Sorry, that's my fault.
We're here for y'all, man. Look, we know that everybody's going through it right now. So if we're able to help you get through these terrible times, being a Panthers fan, well, I'll be damned. That's what the C3 Panther podcast exists to do. You're at the right place. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell for every single time we go live. Hey, this channel went live 4 times today, man. We've been pumping out content. So this is your one-stop shop for Panthers news and opinions. We appreciate y'all.
ERH Domex 4L says O-line matters, receivers matter. Bryce has neither. Dumbass casuals. Well, I know this is I don't know if I am I might be a dumbass. Casual though. I gotta say, wild. I mean, like maybe if you call me casual, I'd love to see what somebody who like really invests in the team does. But here's the thing is those things are true. Offensive line matters. Wide receivers matter. And Bryce Young has been bad. That's it. Like he has not been good. And if you kind of tell me, there have been moments where he's made some good plays.
Here's where I will say, and again, I'm going to give, the ground where I think it's due, right? One of the arguments has always been that Bryce Young, whereas he's not the only problem, he hasn't been the solution either. He hasn't been given an opportunity to really be the solution in an effective way. But at the same time, what the argument is, and I said this on Tuesdays and after the game on Sunday, is as of now, the idea of moving up for Bryce was a bad choice, right? There's no other way you could justify it. Like you can't look at this and say we made the right choice because when you make that type of a move, you make that type of a move to actually be ready, like to have that person elevate everybody else. And it's just not happening right now. And it's not saying it can't happen and give him the right circumstances. But when you're traded up for and you give away multiple draft picks, like you are not just trading for a guy who's going to be your franchise quarterback. You're trading for a guy who's going to be your franchise quarterback immediately.
Yeah. And look, I mean, again, you can tell us until you're blue in the face. Stop mentioning CJ Stroud. Stop mentioning CJ Stroud. Stop mentioning CJ Stroud. The dude is in the running to be the MVP this year. Not just the offensive rookie of the year, the MVP. His numbers are comparable to Patrick Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence right now. Right. You're dumb if you think that we can't mention that as a relevant fact after the Panthers just moved up to the number 1 overall pick. Oh, by the way, the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft, which belongs to the team that just beat us, that pick could be used for one of 3 generational talent quarterbacks that are in the draft this year. Yeah, right now, that decision to move up for Bryce doesn't look good. It doesn't, and it's not going to until we put talent around.
D says Bryce had 8 games. It's going to take longer, guys. I mean, I understand that.
No one's disputing that either.
I understand that. I just can't say right now that he's playing even average football.
No.
You know, and sure, the team stinks around it, but they just beat us today. The Chicago Bears, who were also just 2-7, right? They beat this team with a quarterback who was 20 for 33 with 162 yards and no touchdowns. They scored 1 touchdown. And Deontay Foreman had 80 yards. Deontay Foreman had a better rushing game than the entire Carolina Panthers did. And guess who he played for last year? The Carolina Panthers. Here.
And by the way, he's signed to the Bears for a bag of Lay's potato chips.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Michael in Memphis representing. Man, I can't stand this offense. It's the worst we've ever had. Just a bunch of bums out there playing ball. Man, I'm just losing hope in this team. Keep pounding.
Aiden Guthrie says, y'all want Bryce to be a 5th-year QB in year 1. Calm down. I don't think that's the position I'm taking at all. I don't think that I am taking that position at all. I want Bryce Young to play decent football. Or okay football. I mean, and I'm tired of this. It's like, oh, it's not that bad. It's just not good either. That we have gone over and you know what? This is a complete failure. This is a complete failure. This isn't just a Bryce Young, and it's not a Bryce Young even failure to me. It's just he's not playing anywhere close to what a QB of that stature. I don't know if I should use that one. Of first round, he's playing like he's a 4th round pick. I mean, or the team, and sure, the team is horrendous. So how about that? He's not the worst thing on this team because he's never even played in the NFL yet. I mean, this is his first season. This fucking coaching staff has done terrible. The team is fucking dog shit, as JJ said. Scott Fitter has done nothing. There is nothing good about this team. And the only good thing that you can say is that Bryce Young was good in college and that he offers you future betterness. That's the only thing you can say. Name one other fucking good thing on this team, and no special teams can be mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, literally nothing at all. Again, Bryce Young, we literally just said to everyone that John Elway, a Hall of Fame quarterback, got benched his rookie season. If you're hearing me and CK, and by the way, CK has been a big-time Bryce Young defender, now even CK is coming around to the side that it's time to see Andy Dalton for Bryce Young's own health and safety and his own personal future. Like, that's not us abandoning him. We're not jumping ship. If anything, we're trying to have some compassion for the kid.
Honestly,
that we just traded up for, and he has no talent around him. He's not going to look like a 5th-year quarterback in this offense. He is not going to have a breakout game this year. I'm sorry. And it's not his fault all the way. And then some of it is his fault.
Kevin Gray or my boy Kev is right. He said this is not 1985 anymore, though. Is that like while those things might be good to let QBs wait, like to draft them in the first round and let them wait and study under for 2 years or whatever, the Panthers, I guess, shouldn't have started them. They should have thought about bringing them in after the bye. But anyway, the league doesn't work like that anymore. Nobody's got patience. Man, do you think David Tepper just fired his 3rd soccer coach in 3 years?
Here's what I would say that it's worth at least talking about, and that is when you look at, if you're a Bryce Young fan like I am, like I want him to be. If you're a Panthers fan, you should only want one thing, and that is Bryce Young to be a good quarterback. That's if you're a Panthers fan, that should be the only thing you want.
I do.
I want Bryce Young to be a good quarterback. Right now, if you're a fan of what Bryce Young brings to the table and you really are a defender of what's happening here, then you've got to look and see, you're making the same excuses I am, and that is this O-line is bad and the wide receivers are bad. Why would you want to continue to subject him to the punishment that he's been subjected to if you like the guy? I just don't think that it's conducive for a positive outcome for a guy who's dealing with that. I understand the urge to want to keep him in there. I really do. But I also understand that there's a lot of value in making sure this guy's able to make it through this rest of the season and actually be able to see what happens in these. He's gotten the experience under his belt, moving forward and hoping that things get better. And that in the offseason they can give him better protection and better weapons, I think is the only thing you can really do at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad, dude. None of us expected it to be this bad. Truly, none of us expected
I
it
thought
to be this bad.
I thought the worst case scenario was 3 to 5 wins. Like I thought that would have been like.
And then okay, another thing, Tony, and tell me if you all agree or disagree. I mean, that's what this is for. We're all sharing opinions here. I feel like his arm talent leaves wanting. I feel like there have been a number of balls that he could have completed that he just didn't or couldn't drive the ball hard enough to be able to get it to him. And that's one of those things that
from
we're
the beginning.
wondering.
That was a question mark with him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when are we even gonna get to see some of these questions that we've had about him? When are we even gonna get to see that answered?
I'm with Eric here in this super chat. Mm-hmm. This is just what I want. This is what I am saying.
And then another one after.
Is it too much to ask Bryce to play better and improve?
Not at all.
I think we could ask that to Bryce, and he would tell his defenders that he should play better and be improving.
1,000%.
So
the real C3 AP says if Bryce was on the Eagles or the Chiefs, how do you think he would look?
I mean, he would look better, right? I mean, those are better teams, right? He would look better, but he's not on those teams. He's on this team. And that's it. Is that I just want him. And you know what? We've talked a lot about Bryce, but like everything, this is a systemic failure. And Bryce while he's going to get a lot of attention because he was the number 1 overall pick, he was a quarterback. This team just stinks. Yeah. The team stinks around him. So, yes, I mean, look, teams that pick number 1 or number 9 in this case are bad. But this is just fucking awful. I never saw a Ron Rivera team this bad. I mean, I guess Ron Rivera always had Cam Newton. This team is atrocious, dude. And I would say this is that I don't think that I want someone to explain to me why the 2010 team was worse. I just explain it to me. And if they were worse, then this team is more disappointing. Next call.
I'm not going to get on here and start screaming at nothing. This is Al. But this is your QB. This is who we chose. We're going to lose to Tyson Bagent. Bryce Young can't throw the ball for shit. Bryce Young sucks ass. It's not the fucking defense. It's not the O-line. Look at the O-line. Look at the passes he's throwing. Come on, man. It's not play calling. Bryce Young just sucks, bro. You just got to get fucking rid of him, trade him, whatever you got to do, man. Josh Rosen his ass, dude. This year, Josh Rosen him 90 yards in the fourth quarter. This is crazy.
So somehow he got 100 yards in the rest of that quarter. Next call.
What's going on, guys? This is Rel from Fort Bragg.
From last week, Tuesday.
I'm watching this game. Not really surprised about what's happening. We had a pretty good first quarter. Second quarter, all right. I saw a couple of guys open that Bryce could have threw to, but I really think his height has a lot to do with it. I know he can't grow no more, so it is what it is, but I noticed when the O-line is doing their job and blocking, he can actually see who's available, who's open. he does a good job at getting them the ball. So maybe we need to get him maybe some, I don't know, 6-inch cleats, red bottoms, something to get his height going. But my problem with this game right now is I don't like a penalty-filled game. It bothers me. Thankfully, both teams are getting these penalties, but you can't win a game with a bunch of penalties. So we're going to see. Y'all might hear from me again, but let's go. Come on, Panthers. Keep pounding, baby. Let's go. Let's get this win.
Somebody call up Ron DeSantis and ask to borrow his shoes for Bryce Young. Because he's been wearing boots that try to make him look tall.
6-inch.
Hey guys, this is Chuck from Elizabeth City. I got to tell you, Bryce got a lot of flaws, but this ain't on him. This line sucks. They have no receivers that can get separation. But what pisses me off more than anything else, and don't even want to bring people bringing up Tepper being the problem, because the man's not a football person, but he's a man with money, and he spent money on his coaching staff. Frank Reich does not know what the fuck he's doing. They don't have a clue. That's piss poor play calling, kicking a 59-yard field goal. That's bullshit.
We can talk about this as well.
It's going to take a long time before we can even get decent again. Pitiful.
Why? Why is that? Why is
a couple
that
of reasons? When that happened, you can ask Cody. We were doing the little watch room that we do, and I was like, "There's no way they're going for this with the field goal with Eddie Pinheiro. Eddie Pinheiro is not known as a long kicker. Like, you could see it when it kicks off the ball. He doesn't kick it out of the end zone like every other kicker. They're taking it out of the end zone usually when he kicks the ball on a kickoff, right? And so it's a lot to ask of anybody, but Eddie Pinheiro is an accurate accurate kicker within 50 yards. That's his bread and butter. Outside of that, you cannot, like we saw him, the ball didn't even make it to the back of the end zone. Like that was the problem. And I told him from the beginning. And here's the other thing that's worthy of a conversation.
Getting that 10 yards though any easier?
What's that?
Converting that 4th and 10 may as well been 4th and 55 too.
But I can tell you this much: you would have had a better shot with that than you did Eddie Pinheiro. And apparently, in the press conference, Frank Reich said the other coaches disagreed. They were trying to get him to go for it, and he said, "No, we're going to kick the ball."
Frank Reich has been a disappointment. It's a sad story because I thought, his ties to Carolina, kind of getting a new shot, second life. It just has. There's really nobody has done well at their job.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a single person. I don't care. We can make excuse after excuse for Brian Burns, who wasn't out there tonight, he's an elite player. He's just on a terrible team. And, man, we can make an excuse for all these guys, but no one has come to work and had a good day at work. Not a single player on this team.
Sam Franklin has. Dante Jackson had a good day at work today.
Day at work. Yeah, okay. All right.
Johnny Hecker.
Johnny Hecker is the only automatic guy on the team right now.
Can I just say this, right? Like, we don't make decisions for the Carolina Panthers. Like, no one's asking us what we think the organization should do, right?
Well, they should at this point. It might
100%.
As well.
Hey, it damn sure it can't be worse than whatever the fuck they've been putting out.
Right.
But, I've been on this thing earlier, right, that if Bryce doesn't have the right talent around him, well, then that means that our coaching staff doesn't have the right talent around him. I also know that David Tepper is a very impatient man. So it's beyond my grasp at all. If he fires Frank Reich and fires Fitterer and cleans house all up and down, that'll be it. That we're going to be doing videos talking about the next candidates that we're going to be looking for.
I can't wait
to be the coaches and GMs.
By the way, right now.
Well, how about the reason why I bring it up, though, is because of what me and Tony mentioned last Tuesday night. I worry even more about Bryce Young's future if you're going to go and get a brand new coaching staff and a brand new front office, and none of them had any place in picking that number one quarterback that you just traded the farm to move up for. That makes me even more uncertain about the future of Bryce Young.
His leash won't get longer. You know what I'm saying? His timeline with that, I would think, would be accelerated. You know, of like the need for success. And that's actually kind of the reason I suggested it is because I need Bryce Young to succeed. That's what I need him to do.
I mean, we all do. If we're Panthers fans, that's at this point in time. If you're ready to be able to, if you want a good team within the next 3 years, it's a matter of Bryce Young being a good quarterback.
CK, can you jiggle a wire or something?
What's going on?
It's a high pitch.
I don't even hear it.
Maybe
I do. It's not terrible, but I hear it.
Just jiggle a wire. Maybe it'll help. Let's go to the next call.
Well, before that, we lost. All because we didn't want to get a few more yards to kick a field goal. We were about 2-3 yards away. This is sad, man. I'm going to bed.
You know what was wild? I think this was.
Did she say what her name was?
That's Ralph.
Oh, that's Ralph. Okay.
Yeah. From Fort Bragg. I thought what was fucking hilarious was we got the ball on the 40, and it took like by the end of it, it took like 8 minutes, and we moved the ball like 10 yards positively.
Yeah.
I mean, we got more negative yards in this game than we got positive yards, it felt. It was a shit show, dude. Like, I tweeted this out, is I want this to go to overtime to punish the rest of the football world and make them understand our misery that we have to do on this podcast. Make them stay up late with us. Let's go to the next call.
You guys, it's Chuck from Elizabeth City again. You know, did you watch at the end of the game, Frank Wright sitting there? He looks like the guy who's getting an oil change and tires rotated at Walmart, and they're telling him there's going to be a delay. He's standing there like a freaking idiot. He's lost.
Yeah.
I mean, how the hell did we get this guy as a head coach?
Yeah. It's not, I think he doesn't know what to do when he's not calling plays either. He just looks like an old man with at least hold the play sheet in your hand too.
Did you want to hear? I found the video of Frank Reich explaining the 59-yard field goal.
Okay, yeah, let's hear that.
Okay.
Do you want me to play another call while you cue it up?
No.
Yeah, it was a tough decision, and honestly, as far as percentages, I felt like the percentages, I listened to everybody, listened to the analytics guys, talk to Coach Tabes, there was mixed opinions about what we should do. That's my call. I've seen us make 60-yarders in practice. Felt like there was a little bit of a breeze at our back. If you just look at the pure percentages, I think the pure percentage play is to kick it. It's the 4th and 10 conversion is probably 30% conversion, and the 60-yard field goal is higher than that.
Now it's 60.
It
was 60. It was 59.
You know what I mean? Because the one reason why maybe you go for it there, even though the percentage play is to kick it, if you're just going pure percentages, is to kick it, is because if we make it, we still have a chance to win the game and not just tie. There was still time left. It wasn't like there was 20 seconds to go. So
Dude, I'm so tired of this analytical bullshit in football.
That's not even analytics.
The numbers in the data say that the number. It's like, come on,
that's
dude.
not real analytics right there. The analytics guy said, "Don't do it." You know what I'm saying? He's just saying this is that if you look at overall in the NFL, people that kick 60-yard field goals make them more than 30% of the time. You know what I'm saying? That's just a couple of wide ass percentages. That's not real analytics. That's not insightful analytics about your own team. And CK's right is, you know what, is the only reason, you know, I said, like, the reason I said I don't really care that we kicked it is because the only good shit that's happened on our team has come on special teams.
Yeah, and Eddie Pinheiro making fucking field goals.
Yeah, I mean, is that so? It was like, why not? I mean, it feels like you got just as good of a chance of making that as you do as completing a 4th and 10. But 8 games ago, we would have never asked Eddie Pinheiro to do that. It's only because he's been really, you know, he's hit a 54, then he hit a 50, like he set his own career records in the last couple of weeks that you even think that the guy can make I mean, these guys last year wouldn't have even let him try a 50-yarder.
No.
All right, let's go.
Hold on. 2 more super chats. Mr. Strats with the $5. Strats is the man. Are we a team? It doesn't look like it to me. Just fans. I may have already read that. I don't know. Panthers Drew with the $2 says, let William Wallace Bryce make him taller. And then Eric, who's been a member for 13 months, says the front office and coaches can go F themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to come out tomorrow and say Scott Fitterer is fired. And then maybe even I don't know. It's like I can't see a world. It's going to be hard. Can you really see a world where Frank Reich survives this?
Right now, you can't give me one reason.
Yeah, I think if he survives tomorrow, it would be surprising.
Yeah.
But then what do we do? Who's the interim head coach?
Evero. Why not? Or bring down Caldwell.
Dude,
Man, take Caldwell off the buffet line and get him out there.
Tony, I can't believe that we're even having this fucking conversation, man.
I never, ever, ever thought it could be this bad.
Dude, this is...
I thought that it could. I thought, look, is that Frank Reich might just turn out to be like an offensive Ron Rivera. You know, like, oh, well.
That would have been the best case scenario.
I know, but we get, you know, like, pretty good, you know, teams that spark a little hope every now and then, but never enough to just be like super competitive. This is so fucking bad. Look, I'm going to say it. Matt Rule was better. That's the fucking worst thing I've ever said in my life, dude.
It's so bad, dude. Fuck.
You know what it reminds me of? It feels like, and it's a worse version, but I think it's a good example. I feel like Reich is the exact coach that Ron Rivera was. You know, there towards the end, like he was just like he has these things he says, and he's the player's coach, but at the same time, he doesn't really adapt to what the NFL is in today's world. Frank Reich and Ron Rivera are the exact same person, just with different mindsets about how the offense and, you know, about their mind for football.
Ron Rivera is a better coach than Frank Reich.
I agree with that. I'm saying, like, just from their demeanor and how they approach the game itself. Like, at least Ron Rivera was able to put together a team that you know was able to be competitive. You know, as of now, it doesn't look like Frank has that ability.
We need to march on a different street, Anthony, than Mint Street. We don't even need to give them. We need to like hold a march in a different town. Panther fans unite in different town to emphasize that they don't want to see anybody associated with this team until they're all fired.
Well, I'll just say this: both of you know my how close I am to Mint Street. Yeah, that'd be convenient for me.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the
Be
next
there
call.
in a minute.
Oh, and another thing, real quick, outside of praising Tony Dunn for being the best Panther fan ever, because he has the C3 Panthers podcast and has his show every week for 10 years straight and is the greatest Panther fan ever. Outside of that, man, y'all gotta apologize to Brian Burns. It's time to give him his respect. This defense has 0 sacks. And I'm gonna be honest, there were several times where that quarterback, the Bears quarterback or whatever, had hours back
All
there.
day,
He had
dude.
all day. He had all day to just sit back there to make his pass. But Brian Burns has no impact, huh? We don't know what we're talking about when we say Brian Burns is one of those guys. He's one of those athletes. He's one of those players. And we just don't have anything around him, and we don't scheme him up properly. We don't utilize him the best way at all. And you continue to see why. Whenever he's not on the field, we can't even get a single sack on the Chicago Bears out of all teams. I'm like, it'd be one thing if it was the Eagles. We can't get a sack on the Bears? The Bears? Man, y'all better fucking... I promise you, Brian Burns would have at least had a sack today. All right? You know, y'all talk all this shit about Brian Burns, man. It's time we that's one player who deserves his check and need his check, all right? We declined the trade. We better keep him on here for years, man, for years to come. I want to keep Brian Burns. I've been on that train for forever. We didn't trade him. Pay the man. All right? Pay Brian Burns. That's how I'm going out with this call.
Somebody said in the chat that Ron Rivera is going to be fired so we can have him if we want. I don't want him as my head coach again anymore. But you know what? Is that if right now we were going to walk into the backyard and pick people and the only 2 coaches we had to choose from were Frank Reich and Ron Rivera, I'm picking Ron Rivera. I mean, like, I know that the record for the Colts was a lot better, but for him,
was it you telling me that one of your buddies says that they don't believe Ron Rivera talks?
That's the Barstool guy that says that.
Oh,
because he's never said he doesn't say a word into the microphone.
Yeah.
He just stands on the sideline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, Anthony from Charlotte. I'm sure he's gonna be pissed.
Why would you say that?
What's up, C3? It's Anthony from Charlotte. It's 11:49. It's pretty late here. Just got back from my friend's house. Had a couple people over. Man, listen, I don't want to hear anyone caping for Frank Reich or any of these players. Bryce Young played bad. Missed a lot of guys. At the same time, there were drops. Offensive line pressured. Play calling not good. Just a collective failure, man. Frank Reich has to go. This is below Matt Rule. This is absolutely atrocious. We are 1-8, and we just lost to the Tyson Baggett Bears. At this point, you have to fire both of them. I don't care. The problem is David Tepper's a day late, dollar fucking short. He should have cut ties with Scott Fitter last year and brought in a GM on the same page with Frank Reich. Because everyone's blaming Scott Fitter for everything that's going on. Yes, I agree. He's like 70% of it. But Frank Reich is still 30% of the blame, at least, for the fact that this team is so not coached up. They have sloppy penalties, lead the league in false starts. It's a collective clusterfuck. They all got to go. We got to get a head coach and GM in here, see what they want to do with Bryce Young. If they only give Bryce Young 1 year, okay, fine. Then you'll be in the running for another quarterback. We have to start this process over, man. I mean, shit. Run game today. Chuba Hubbard had like 27 yards. Bryce had like 16. Sanders -5. Blackshear like 7. Like, there's no run game. It's just straight Joe Burrow rookie season drop back every play. It's like, man, this is a collective ass failure. I'm sick of hearing the excuses. No one gets the pass. But I'm done with Cody. I love you, brother, but I'm sorry. Bryce Young has a longer leash than Frank Reich for this exact reason right now. This team has been an organizational failure ever since David Tepper took over the team. I told you, I've been telling a lot of people, look at Baker fucking Mayfield. I don't care if you hate the guy or love the guy. He's top 15 in every metric. That doesn't look like a bad quarterback to me. It just looks like he's in a semi-competent organization. Like, Frank Reich has to go. The same issues he had in Indy, the same playbook he built in Indy, the same exact thing. Wasted a timeout on one of the drives because there was miscommunication. This team is sloppy and lazy. And I saw in the press box that David Tepper was sitting next to Fitter and shaking his head. He better make fucking changes. And this is the last thing I want to say. Bench Bryce Young versus the Cowboys. I don't want him tearing his ACL versus Micah Parsons, who's going to just push Icky or Bradley Bozeman down with one hand. That's what I got to say. This is infuriating, and there's a march on Mint Street PMP's having. I will be going to it. Anthony from Charlotte, keep hoping.
David, look, they should just leave Scott Fitter in Chicago. And, you know, and they're going to need to fire Frank right now. Here's the thing is they did this again, ass backwards. Every time they hired the stupid fucking coach and then they hired the GM. And then this time they hire a coach again, knowing that this GM could very well be on the way out. So now it's time to do the shit the right way. And that is to go hire a GM, have him go pick the coach, then go into the draft and pick their players, and you give them 3 years. And but you can't do that now because none of the shit makes sense. You know? I mean, nobody, like, it's so bad. Look, we could put all three of us in there. You could put Cody at GM. You could put CK as quarterback coach.
Yeah.
And you can put me as the head coach. And we could get these results. And you know what? I'll do it for 1/32 of Frank Reich's salary. Take his salary and divide it by 32. And I will do I'll do just the equivalent job. The problem again is like, what happens if you go, maybe you get a GM? Do you get a GM and you just make Frank Reich suck another year up? And then you make a decision on Bryce Young too after next season? Like, that's the only rationale that I have for not firing Frank Reich, is to know that you're going to fire him in 2 years, but to try to figure out if Bryce Young.
I don't have the answer. Tony, it seems like every answer that we put forth is a bad answer.
Yeah.
Because right now,
that's what I thought was good.
How does it feel if we kept Frank Reich and this entire coaching staff? Not too confident. Well, okay, how do you feel if you get a brand new GM, a brand new front office, a brand new coaching staff, offensive and defensive? So let's not do this wishful thinking where, Ivero is good, so he'll stick around. No, you're hiring an entirely new coaching staff.
Yeah, no, I don't want any new. Yeah.
And what has David Tepper done to this point to show any of you that he should be trusted with that much responsibility in one off season? It's like there are no good answers right now, man.
Aiden Guthrie says Hurts and T-Law took their teams to playoffs after a coaching change. Bryce could do the same. Well, you know what? How about this? Is that I don't see a way that Frank Reich survives this.
As of now, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. You can't give me one reason to keep him at this point.
No, and I'm honestly going to be surprised if he makes it to week 11. At this point, if the Panthers win, if the Panthers lose, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear tonight or this morning that Frank Reich's been fired. I wouldn't be floored. I don't know if I expect it. Actually, I kind of do. I kind of expect David Tepper. He fired a damn soccer coach this week. Why not? You already got
he's in the mood, right?
Exactly. Next call.
Yo, what's up, my guys? I am Outlaw Jackson Bow here from Harrisburg, North Carolina. Alrighty, I've been listening to y'all a while now,
Thank you.
I really love what y'all are doing, everything like this. I know it's a hard time to be a Panther fan, y'all, but y'all just keep on pounding, listen. All right, I know our O-line played a little bit better today, and Derek Brown was really ragged on people around that line there, just killing them, throwing them off. But I feel like our main problem here is utilizing routes here is terrible. It's terrible. If you watch, I bet like fucking 60% of all the routes are static routes or more. Probably more last week than they are now this week, but really they just run a little slant or a short route out there and they just turn around back to the line and sit down there and don't move at all. And that can work pretty good if you got really quick old players or running against some zone. But if you're sitting there against press man, it's very hard to beat, and our wide receivers are not fast at all. So it's not looking too good. We need to adjust some things there, but let's see here. Yeah, we're just terrible out there, man. Bryce can't hardly see over this line. You have to loft the ball a lot more, and also Eddie should not be put in that situation here. I mean, that's terrible. We're like 1-8. Why the hell wouldn't we just go for it? I mean, we probably just destroyed that man's confidence for life. I know he was probably upset as shit. It looked like it. And I know David Tepper up there looking like he's whining his eyes out up there. He's mad at somebody, and it should be himself. But we'll see if he can make any adjustments here and maybe get some stuff rolling here. I sure hope so. And y'all take care tonight. I know it's fucking terrible, but keep pounding, y'all.
Yeah, I think now that I kind of think, I mean, I don't know. It's like, here is the thing is kicking the field goal is like this is like it felt like we couldn't move the ball at all either.
Right.
You know, like that's where it felt like. So all of this gets, they got to be gone. I mean, I don't know. And blue in the face CK is like, I can't find one good thing. I can't find one good thing that this coaching staff has done. Not a single thing.
It's,
you know
again,
what? You know what I'm doing? I'm firing. You know who I'm making interim head coach? Chris Tabor.
Yeah,
I mean, our special teams coach. And special John Harbaugh. He's special. He was a special teams coach. Maybe Chris Tabor turns this team around.
That's the question.
It was so bad at one point. This is, and I swear on my. Well, I don't know if you're supposed to swear, but this is the God's honest truth. When we got the ball on the 40 after that muff kick, I said, I was watching the game by myself. I said, we should just go ahead and kick a field goal. First play. And you know what?
Hey, you could be a head coach.
We would have had more success if on 1st and 10, we just kicked the field goal there.
Yeah, why not?
God, I swear on my life that I said that aloud. We should kick it. And you know what? At one point earlier in the season, I said we should just punt it on 1st down. That's what I said at one point this season. This has been abysmal.
Hey. You know who the fuck this is?
Gee, you sound
Booyaka. 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 The Carolina Panthers suck. Ha, ha, ha. That's a text message. That's a text message I got from my 80-year-old grandmother that's a Chicago Bears fan.
I love it.
That's not where I thought that was going at all.
This fucking team sucks.
Oh, no.
They're terrible.
If I don't wake up tomorrow with the news of Frank Reich and Scott Fitter fired, I knew this shit was gonna happen. I took work off tomorrow for this shit, just because
I wouldn't have to go to work. Imagine if I had to go to work tomorrow because I talked a whole lot of shit. Because you know what? I've been a Carolina Panthers fan my entire goddamn life. I don't give a fuck who we play. I'm still going to root for them to win. But at this point, this is probably the worst Carolina team I've ever seen. Our offensive line is trash. During the game, I was texting my boy Ant, and when Bryce Young almost threw that first pick, it was 3rd and 1. What the fuck are we keeping Bryce Young and shotgun and throwing the ball for? There is no I formation. There's no toss. There's no counters.
It was a long
there ain't
run, though.
shit for a run game, bro.
But we're running from shotgun.
Oh, I know. It sucks.
On 3rd and 1.
It's bad. It's bad. I'm looking at this team, and I'm looking at niggas that I've never even heard of. Niggas on defense I've never even heard of.
Dude, that guy that caught the best, made the best play of the game, I never even heard of.
I can't remember his name for the life
And they
of
said,
me.
oh, he just got called up yesterday or some shit.
Strawn.
Bro, like, it's almost laughable. Like,
that sounds like a detergent.
I'll be calling back. I got a lot to talk about, man. We're in this together, y'all. We are in this together. Bryce Young is going to be just fine. Bryce Young will be fine. I'll be calling back.
Why does it sound like he's like saying a mantra? Bryce Young will be fine.
He's
Bryce Young will be fine.
He's trying to he's trying to tell himself
If
that.
he says it
we're
enough
just all
time.
convincing, trying to convince ourselves. Like,
I don't know if Bryce Young is going to be fine. I hope that he's going to be better.
You've got to pray and hope that he is.
Yeah,
like,
and I don't think that he is this bad. You know, or like here's the thing: is that look, is everybody good? These people are all right. Is that with an offensive line, he has shown that he can be good. Well, guess what? So is like every fucking NFL quarterback. It feels like. Nah, I mean, I know that's messed up, but here's one thing you can count on. He's not going to have a good offensive line. We're the Carolina Panthers. Like, you know, what would be more surprising? Bryce Young a bust or the Carolina Panthers have a good offensive line? I can't imagine a world like if the Carolina Panthers had a good offensive line, I'd be looking for Jesus coming back. I'd be like, oh shit, world's over.
Yeah,
This is it.
The Raptors.
The Raptors here.
Yeah. Dude. I found this on Twitter, and it's weirdly beautiful and kind of poetic. And I feel like we should share this. Apparently, this is out front of Bank of America Stadium. The lights are going out.
It's just America Stadium.
America Stadium.
You know
oh
what?
man.
Is guess what? We had a sponsor pull out.
Now they're sponsors.
Yeah, they just you know what? Say, fuck this. We don't want to be. This ain't our stadium no more.
I mean, listen. I know I sound like a broken record, but the fact that we passed on Stroud hurts so fucking bad. That was my preferred quarterback if we were going to move up to number 1. And again, I've even said this before. The fact that you have a Drake May in the draft, 6'4", 230 pounds, born in Charlotte, North Carolina, plays at UNC, like the story wrote itself. And the fact that we traded up and we're not getting anything in return for our trade up. We're the worst team in the NFL. We decided to make no moves at the trade deadline in hopes that we would somehow get a victory the rest of this season. It's embarrassing, man. Like, I don't know how much. Look, I say I don't know how much more as a fan base we can take, but I think we need to stop saying that because every time we do, we realize that it can get worse.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I thought we were at the bottom, and it was like, nah, fuck that. You got cancer. There was
What
this.
would Stroud do? Maybe hit an open fucking receiver downfield. Y'all are disgusting, bro.
Honestly, I don't know. With this coaching staff, I think they might have ruined
Whatever. He might
Stroud
not
as well.
be good. He'd be better than this. And
We don't know that.
I'll fight with anyone, dude. I don't give a shit.
I don't think it's hard to fathom that anyone could be bad. You know, and I know that just sounds like it's just he just hasn't been good. He hasn't been good. He hasn't been terrible. But the whole team has been terrible. There was my buddy sent me this a long time ago. I can't find it. I was looking for it, but I don't know if I showed it to you guys. And this was after, I think, one of the games that we lost at the last minute early on in the season, like where we were up the whole time and then we lost. Anyway, this guy does artwork out of the in-game odds. So, like, he takes the in-game. Have you ever seen the in-game odds, like the chart where it's like 90, and then it has it's like a stock market thing? And he did this piece of artwork, and like he does real like paintings, and it was a Panthers game where it was like all the way to the end, and I think it was a Panthers game, might not. And then it was like it was the Nebraska game. Do you remember when they lost at the last second in their opening week or whatever? Yeah. And they had like a 99%. The guy had I would love to see some artwork about the Panthers in-game odds. It would just be a blank canvas. Odds of winning, blank. G Baby has a little bit more to say. By the way, there's not a lot of calls now anymore. I think a lot of people watching.
We're apathetic, dude.
The phone lines are open, 252-228.
No, they're not. No, they are not.
This is your boy G, baby. I'm not worried about Bryce, y'all. I don't think y'all should be worried about Bryce either. And I do absolutely believe that the truth was absolutely the right pick. I'm glad CJ Stroud's doing great. The nigga look like me. I love niggas that look like me that succeed at the QB position. But at the end of the day, we still got the right guy. And I can cold-heartedly say that with all confidence. We were just lied to. We were lied to. And I wasn't really lied to. I knew this fucking talent on this team was fucking trash. I never believed in fucking Miles Sanders. I never believed in fucking Frank Wright. But at the end of the day, we're not going anywhere, man. And CK, man, that bald head is looking amazing, G. Dude, you shave that shit with shaving cream and shit, bro. That is clean, bro. That head is pause. Pause.
Damn.
But anyways, y'all, don't worry about my nigga Bryce. We gonna be just fine. We need weapons, man. And dude, Bradley Bozeman getting put on your ass. Nick, wow. And Taylor Moton, Bryce, and motherfuckers was, well, he's always looking to fucking Adam Thielen. Motherfucker, I would always look to Adam Thielen too. Have you looked at everyone else? Jonathan Mingo, come here, my nigga. We need to have a heart-to-heart. I have a receivers list. In college football, I had a running backs list. Jonathan Mingo wasn't on my receivers list. I'm just going to throw that in there. But I'm a Carolina Panthers fan first. And I still believe in that nigga. I still see it. He just needs to work on some more route running. Hit the goddamn treadmill, bro. You're looking slow. Boys, who really thought we were going to do shit this year, man, after how we started? Panther Nation, keep your heads up. Tony, thank God for you, G. Thank God for you, bro. Thank you for being a household name, G. In the panel world of YouTube, bro, as far as Carolina Pat podcast, man. You're up there, dog. You're definitely number one on the Mount Rushmore of Carolina Panther podcast, G. I love you, my nigga. My white Italian nigga. I love you, G. And the rest of the panel, y'all keep it up, man. And y'all keep pounding, man. These are going to be the darkest days of our lives.
You know what? I think that JJ and them, you know what they did? They got the memo that I'm trying to quit that, well, not quit forever, but I'm not drinking. And Saturday is my birthday. I will be 42 years old, and Saturday, if I can get through that day, will be 21 days of no booze.
Congratulations, dude.
I have only done this one other time. I did it for Lent one year in like 2017 or something like that, where I went 40 days. But other than that, I've pretty much drank every day since 1997. So the idea of trying to weather this storm with no alcohol is insane. That's the craziest thing right there. I'm like, this is like, I'm numb.
Yeah.
Like, gosh.
I'm amazed at the two people in the chat room that are still coming at me like, oh, what would Stroud be able to do that Bryce isn't? Maybe throw some of his receivers open and hit open ones in stride, dude. We're not saying that is great. I'm saying that you go with the more physically superior talent, dude. I'm not even saying you can't build around them. I'm saying we made the wrong pick, bro. Or whatever, dude. People don't want to.
Hey, Cody,
that
it's
from
Christian
me.
from Arizona.
Christian, how are you,
agree with
man?
I was with you. I definitely was on board with keeping Reich and Fitterer, giving him time. I was worried. I don't even want the fucking high school kid playing quarterback for the Panthers, but I was worried about changing it up and having him have a new coaching staff in year two. But I've turned the corner, or turning the corner. I definitely think that keeping Reich right now could do just as much damage, because I'm not seeing any heart out of this team. I'm not seeing heart out of Reich. I was totally on board with him. I still think he was a better choice than Wilkes, even though it's been a failure. I was excited about Wilkes when he started as an interim head coach, but I don't think he panned out. But I think give it to Deuce Staley. I think that's someone who can definitely show some heart and breathe some life into this offense and this team as a whole. So I hear you with the not wanting to change things up, but if you're going to change it up, do it now. Do it at the end of the season, no later than that, and just have someone that has some fucking heart that can bring some kind of something to this team.
I have changed my position completely since Tuesday in just 2 days about Frank Reich.
You on fire?
Yeah. I mean, my entire idea and look was for the betterment of Bryce Young. Right. Is I didn't think that Frank Reich did anything to deserve to keep his job next year. But I thought the continuity, I'm worried that Bryce could get thrown out with the bathwater faster. Right. If we're having these questions in these conversations, look, we're not the only ones. You don't think that they're going to be having these hard conversations when they bring in the new GM, the new coaching staff? You don't think that they are going to say, hey, maybe you guys got a little ahead of your skis on how ready this guy was or whatever? Who knows? I'm just saying this is that I've watched the NFL long enough now to realize that us dumb fans aren't that much dumber than the dumb fucking people owning and running these organizations. And they are just as fucking wild as we are. And just look at how much the Carolina Panthers have strayed from their plans from the very beginning. And I didn't like Teddy Bridgewater, right? I didn't like Tadisha by any means, but I was open that I had two public reasons why I didn't like Tadisha, and his cross-dressing wasn't one of them. The first reason was I was upset that we cut Cam. I was just sad. I was upset. I was salty, and I didn't think we needed to do it. I thought that we could have run with add Cam for one more year and then positioned ourselves to get a quarterback in the draft. That's what I thought we could have done. The next thing is that they went and signed Teddy Bridgewater to a 3-year, $60-something million deal. When any player of that stature should just get a 1-year deal. So we should have just given him a 1-year deal. But then they came out and laid out. Matt Rule came out at the end of his first season on WFNZ. I think it was his first season. Maybe it was the end of season 2, and laid out what their original plan was. And it was Teddy Bridgewater, build the team up, go and then work to find your franchise quarterback in the draft, and then go from there and be able to bring him along with Teddy there. The plan was the plan. And they didn't, and they strayed from it because these motherfuckers are just as gullible as any damn fish that sees any flashy thing in the water go by. So, you know what is they're going to, I can't, I don't know how in this league, how patient they will be. And even with Bryce Young being a number 1 draft pick, I think that if Frank Reich was the coach next year, well, that's what I thought on Tuesday, that Bryce Young would have gotten into year 3, the very minimum. But right now, I don't think that, you know what, somebody else could do better with Bryce Young. Anybody else could. I could do better with. I could coach Bryce Young better.
So 2 things: the Houston Texans, they went 1 and done 3 years in a row, and now that 3rd year they finally landed on DeMeco Ryans, and DeMeco Ryans is looking like one of the better coaches right now in football with what he's done with that Texans team. So maybe that is the answer, Tony. Maybe you just, you keep on rolling the dice until you get the guys that are going to take your team to the next level.
Aiden Guthrie. First, thank you for hanging out with us this late. But what the hell does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, who even mentioned playoffs, dude?
I don't care about making the playoffs. Number 1. Number 2, CJ Stroud is going to make the playoffs. He was the number 2 pick.
For sure.
Right?
And they were the worst team in football last year.
But I didn't say make the playoffs. I didn't want us to. No. I don't even give a fuck if we had a winning record this year. This team has gotten worse. This team was better in training camp than it is now.
It's funny how even having expectations that we aren't the worst offense in the NFL and that our quarterback doesn't have the worst QBR in the NFL, which he does, even that's not enough. You have to say, oh, well, what did you expect? No, yeah, more than this.
Did Andrew Luck make the playoffs his first year?
Can't remember. No, I believe.
Yeah, let's just go these calls. Right, I mean, they were almost done. Come on, fat finger Tony.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm in the chat. I'm reading some of these comments, and I don't know what kind of football these people are watching. Are they watching football? You can see this man is not the guy, bro. The check down passes. He never throws past 20 yards. One pass past 20 yards the whole season. The only pass I've seen. Man, this dude is tripping. Fucking CJ Stroud. I don't even want to say his name. But there's multiple quarterbacks in this league who can make this team go. And Bryce Young is not one of those quarterbacks, bro. He is not one of those quarterbacks. You guys need to start watching football. You guys need to really watch football because you guys aren't watching football. It's coaching, the coaching sucks. The O-line is bad, but it's not that bad. He has time to pass. He drops back too slow. Look at his drop back. Watch his drop back. By the time he finishes with his stupid ass little slow drop back, he's already getting pressured. His drop back takes 3 seconds. Come on, bro. Get the ball out your fucking hands. Move with some fucking urgency. This is the NFL, dude. Fucking tighten up.
CK, go get some rest.
I mean, if we're almost done, I can hang out for a bit. I just we're getting to that point where it's like if the kiddo wakes up at 2 a.m., I'm dealing with
just go.
Possibly.
Go. We
No,
got
you're
it.
good. You're
we
good.
got
You're
it.
Good. You're good. We can go.
I want to ask Aiden though. Why he says this, and look, is at first we welcome your opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to talk down about it. But he said, then why are we so upset with Bryce? The expectation obviously wasn't too high or was too high. What should we be happy about?
Yeah.
What should the tone of evaluation for anybody for Bryce Young and this team be? It can't, because right now, what positive do you have to say? The only positive you could say about Bryce Young is that the team around him is terrible and it's hard to tell. And that's not even a positive.
Right.
Yeah. Again, like, I don't know what people want us to say. Like, it's a genuine question to Aiden and to anyone else. Like, what about Bryce's performance would you like us to hang our hats on?
Or
and
even
say, oh, okay, well that's something good.
The running game?
What is it? And we're not even being sarcastic. It's like we're genuinely asking, what should we be happy about from Bryce at this point? It's like all of the common knowledge that you don't draft a 5'10", 295-pound quarterback was thrown out of the window because Bryce Young had a processor and an ability to read defenses unlike any quarterback that was coming through college in the past, 10 years?
Since Andrew Luck.
And every single game, there are open wide receivers that he misses. Now, your eyes are averted away from that because of how many times the offensive line crumbles in front of him and how many times the receivers are doing dumb shit. And again, no one is even saying that isn't happening. It obviously is. But there is a lot left wanting from our quarterback that we gave up Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and the first overall pick in 2024 for. Like, you can't tell us that we're not allowed to be critical of the guy that we gave up that much for.
I still would be disappointed if we picked him at not him.
At 9,
it's just like this is what should I be optimistic about? Like, what should I? Is that the super skill he had is not really showing yet. So now is Bryce Young went from being the least developmental quarterback in decades to now a developmental quarterback.
Right.
Yeah. Not just that, an undersized developmental quarterback.
All right, next call. They get 2 more in after this.
Hey, what's going on, C3 Podcast? This is Big Bama 69-420.
What up, Bama?
And I know what's wrong with the Panthers, all right? It's not Big Bryce's fault. In fact, I think we need to praise Bryce. He has done nothing wrong. He's the only reason y'all won a single game. He's the GOAT. He's the truth. And the reason why y'all are losing games is because y'all need to hire a new quarterbacks coach. Josh McCown ain't it, all right?
All right.
So this is what I think you have to do. You need to give Bryce some confidence, okay? So we need to sign Bryce to a 5-year extension right now on his rookie contract. Just get it out of the way. Let him know you believe in him, all right?
10
Give
years.
him a 5-year, $350 million fully guaranteed contract like Deshaun Watson type shit, okay? Let him know we believe in him, okay? And then hire a new quarterbacks coach like We'll find somebody, all right? Don't worry about it. Bryce is going to be just fine. He's the truth, all right? He's done nothing wrong. He looks way better than C.J. Stroud looked. C.J. Stroud's trash. He's in
He's
Ohio
1-0
State. Shit.
against
He
C.J. Stroud.
Anybody from Bama is the truth, all right?
Now that's a
Mac
fact.
Jones is having a hell of a career, too, over in New England. Jalen Hurts looking good, all right? Trust.
Now you know.
Let's get here. We'll just power through.
All right, guys. I'm just messing around, but it's Tyler from Oklahoma, Run DMC Lovato. And I just had my son just born. And I bought him some Panthers shit
Congratulations.
already.
Congrats, brother.
And I got my daughter some Panthers cheerleading shit for Christmas. And I was going to like make a post and post it on Twitter and at the Panthers and shit, but I just can't be asked. I might just make the post and be like, look at the new saddest Panthers fans, and have my 3-day-old son on there. But man, Bryce Young looks so shit. I think we're gonna break him unless we do sit him, like y'all said. Should have picked CJ. I mean, that's obvious now, but who cares? We can do nothing about it. But we got to fire Frank. We got to fire Fit. And we got to restart. And I think we need to trade Brian Burns in the offseason. We should have traded him at the deadline. There's no point in having him. He'll be 26 years old on a rebuilding team that we're going to have to completely tear to the ground. Like,
by the way, we can't
there's
trade
no
him.
way we can use him
What?
in his
Can't trade
prime.
him.
Why?
If we ever get to a
He's a
point
free
where
agent,
it's definitely
unrestricted
good, it'll
free
be like
agent.
30.
You tag him.
We got a few years of hell left, at least. Maybe we have to find a new quarterback in a few years. Who knows? But I'm here for the ride with you boys, so keep pounding.
All right, man. Congrats on the new one, the new
Oh, yeah,
arrival.
dude.
And just know this is you're gonna like, or at least I think this is like, parents are gonna fuck their kids up. The goal is to just fuck them up as least as possible.
Yeah.
But just know you've already accomplished the goal from day one of fucking them up by making them a Panthers fan. Done. You already got that out of the way. Now it's all uphill from there. Now you just got to try to fuck them up less than that. No, it's going to be.
Well, it's almost like if you are a Panthers fan, well, dude, that teaches you how tough life can be, man.
Yeah. I mean, right away,
Yeah.
you realize that
Yeah.
life isn't a box
That's
of chocolates.
Yeah, man, that's a slice of life right
Or
there.
it is
boy.
a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
What's up, C3?
Except
I
for
don't know if
bad
you're still
offensive
taking
line.
calls, but man,
This
I
is
just
the
wanted to
last
dive
one.
into something real quick. This is not Panthers related, but Tony Dunn, man. Yeah, I don't say this a lot, but I love y'all boys, man. Like, I've been saying though that like this podcast is really the only thing keeping me really alive as a Panthers fan. Like, if you guys stopped, like, I really wouldn't have that much interest in this team.
Me either.
I've been going to games since I was 6 years old. As long as I could remember, this was never this bad. And I hope there's light at the end of the tunnel. It just sucks, man. Like, football's always been my favorite sport growing up, my favorite thing to talk about growing up. And I just want to shout out you, Tony Dunn. My dad actually quit drinking completely 4 months ago. He's an Italian man like you. It's hard because I've had to sit here and watch him, consume a lot of alcohol every single night to help him go to sleep.
Yep.
And it's a long journey, but just keep your head up, man. Like, it's all about the mindset, and it helps you think clear. And I feel like, obviously, I shouldn't be like giving you advice from my perspective because I just turned 21 years old like 3 weeks ago, so I'm having fun with it now. But I've been consumed by things in my life that I'm not gonna like disclose on here. But man, just
Bryce
keep
Young.
going, man. I love y'all boys so much, man. My dog Cody, we argue so much, bro, but you're my motherfucking dog, bro. And we're gonna hang out soon
Appreciate
again.
you, brother.
CK, the motherfucking man, the man of reason every time. And even Greg, man, I know Greg, we have some beef and we get riled up about the Panthers. But dude, I text Greg Greg texts me all the time through Apple, through my iPhone. Like, y'all are just my brothers, man. Like, y'all are family to me. So I just want you to know, keep doing your thing. Anthony from Charlotte, I will say keep motherfucking pounding for this one. But when it's Panthers related, it's keep hoping, but keep motherfucking pounding C3.
Keep
I texted around with a few
motherfucking
guys, and I said,
pounding.
okay, we're going to keep it 100, right? Am I saying that right? Am I saying that right? We're going to keep it 100.
And Tony, does it? I mean, to Tony and CK, it has to make y'all boys feel good, right? That we are doing more to keep people as Panther fans than the actual Carolina Panthers.
That's wild.
Like, bro, give yourself a pat on the back, boys.
I think this is exactly why we need to have more of a spotlight on the fan created content like this, because in times like this, dude, if nobody else is nobody else is gonna be talking about the Panthers until games like this happen on Thursday night, right? That's not conducive for a positive fan experience, and so quite honestly, this is the best thing that could happen for the Panthers, is to have have the internet and have us be able to have people like us be able to come out here and talk about them.
You're welcome, Carolina Panthers, for us helping to keep y'all afloat through this shit. Man, I'm tired of carrying the fucking load for these guys. I'm carrying all the water, man, for the last 5 years for this mug. Anthony, great call. Thank you, man. I love you too, man. You've been an awesome addition to the C3 family, dude. You not only come on the show, you're a part of the show, dude. I think we're gonna do this. Is we're gonna give the jersey away on Tuesday night. Okay, so I can maybe prepare a little bit, maybe do some different, maybe make something like I don't know. It's like, I want to make sure I get the spreadsheet nice and clean. Then we can do the random number generator and pick the Jonathan Mingo jersey. And we'll do that on Tuesday night for C3 Superfan. And then we're going to have to we'll discuss this, guys. Think about this in the next couple of days, is what happens if we give the jersey away. How long is the response time that we need? Like a week. And if they don't respond, we give it to another C3 super fan or something like that. So we got to kind of think some of that through. So Tuesday night,
we might need to consider what jersey we're getting.
Yeah, we might need to. We might actually need to just amp this up and give them something better than a Jonathan Mingo jersey.
Because we want them to at least be like, I want something that I want. You know?
Yeah. I think
like
that's right. Man, it sounded like such a great idea at the beginning of the season.
Oh, I know. It sounded great until we saw him play. Hey, by the way, again, shout out to Adam Guthrie, who's been cool enough to hang out with us in the chat. I like this comment from him. He says, it's just disappointing, man. I know Bryce is the guy. I don't want fans to give up on him. But then again, if this organization is just going to waste him, what's the point? I hear you, man.
That's what we're fearful of, is that the impediment to his development will be Carolina.
Yeah, that this is going to end up being a down.
Or he's going to be like Alex Smith, and it's going to take 12 years for this shit to happen.
And again, someone asked earlier, what would happen if Bryce was on Philadelphia or Kansas City? And it's like, he probably would be a much better quarterback. And that's the fear that the Carolina Panthers, in actuality, even though many of us thought it was the best landing spot for a rookie quarterback, that not only was it the worst, but in particularly, it was the worst for a type of quarterback with Bryce Young's skill set.
That's the problem. Like, we thought we were ready and we weren't even close.
Okay. Last bit of housekeeping. Remember, the not Jonathan Mingo jersey is going to be given away on Tuesday. I think I agree with that. Well, at least the only good thing about giving a Jonathan Mingo jersey is I might be able to find it at Ross before.
It'd be a lot cheaper than the one
$40. It's going to be right beside the damn Brandon LaFell jersey. Terrace Marshall. All right. David Dotto Ball Out Award, formerly known as the Dab On-Em Award. This is our player of the game.
I'll be very quick, man. Dante Jackson. I think Dante was flying around, smacking people, making tackles. Dante Jackson.
CK?
Mine's going to be our newly activated tight end, and it's Strawn who caught that ball. That was that 40-yard pass from Bryce that was actually quite beautiful and made me think that we were about to be a deep passing offense in this game, but they quickly diverted away from that idea. And but Strawn, man, coming in here early first drive and able to pull that down. That was awesome.
My player of the game goes to we've probably said this like 7 times this season already, Johnny Hecker. Our best player. When we pinned him inside the 1 after a slow offensive start or right out the gate, I was like, oh shit, this is exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Guess what? Didn't work. Towel of shame. Who's it go to? We don't even need bumper, nothing.
Frank Reich.
Frank Reich for me.
Yeah, but I'm saying Fitterer. I hate the makeup of this entire roster, and I blame him.
Look, I want to thank every single person that's still here. First of all, this is incredible.
245 people, man. You guys are awesome. 1:30 in the morning East Coast time.
Yeah, the support for tonight's show monetarily was incredible. Thank you so much. But having this community, look, the calls, man, there were so many. At first, I almost cried during JJ's call. Anthony's call wasn't far behind. And
D makes us cry all the time.
Yeah, D's always, I cry at the end of every Friday free for all whenever I'm there. Friday free for all tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely, baby. Hey.
It's gonna be a fucking
I don't know, dude. I don't know that there's going to be many Bryce defenders for. I mean, I think we're becoming apathetic at this point in time.
No, but they're going to be ready to call for somebody's head, dude.
Yeah,
we might be talking about Frank Reich being fired tomorrow night.
Well, and by the way, that's another thing. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on the lookout. If it's earlier in the day and Frank Reich does get fired, be on the lookout. I will try and do like some kind of stream, even if it's like 30 minutes or an hour, doing like a quick reaction to it. And tomorrow, to everybody listening, we're not done having this conversation, man. Every Friday at 7 p.m., you can join the show via the Friday Free For All every Friday at 7 p.m., where Carolina Panther fans can come on this podcast and make their voices heard and known in person, man. And I know you'll have a lot to say about this team right now. So be here tomorrow at 7 p.m. and we'll kick the can around again.
Do us a solid. You heard how many people really enjoy being a part of the C3 Panthers community. Tell somebody about the show. Share the link on your Facebook, on Reddit, on Twitter with people outside of the C3 nation, because it's amazing. And to me, it's amazing how many people don't know about the podcast, although it's gone on for 10 years. But at the same time, I understand. So look, let's get in their ears, man. We need to lock arms. We're going to be here. It's the longest running Panthers podcast. We're live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Film reviews, Friday free for alls, breaking news, and anything else, beat check, all types of stuff. As much creativity and energy we can muster, we do. And we do it because we've got you guys telling us to keep doing it. So, Cody Light, take us out of here.
Come hang out on Friday, Kristen. We need you. I'm calling you out. We need you in Friday. Come on. It'll be fun. But yeah, listen, for another episode of the C3 Panthers post-game show, my name is Cody Lashney. That's the professor. That's Codizzle Allen, the voice that makes them moist. We're in this together, Panther Nation. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Until next time, keep pounding.
Keep pounding.